Leonard Burns is the captain of Company 1. He's a third-generation pyrokinetic and was the one who went to help Shinra's family in the incident 12 years ago. He kept the truth from Shinra in hopes that he would develop a fear of fire and step away from being a Fire Force member. When Shinra finally met Captain Burns, he had a hunch that Captain Burns knew what had happened 12 years ago, but Burns acted like he had no idea what happened. Only after Shinra proved his skills to Captain Burns did he reveal the truth behind it all. The demon that wreaked havoc that day was his mother. Captain Burns was also shown to be a believer of the Holy Soul, which is reflected as he's under the 1st Division, which is sponsored by the Holy Soul Temple. During his first meeting with the 8th Squad, he also had them do a prayer in place of a salute, demonstrating his faith in Holy Soul. But there's more than meets the eye. In fact, it was all a face. Captain Burns lost his faith during his first encounter with the Adolla Link. During a breakout in Amaterasu, him and 5-2 came across an Infernal and established Adolla Link with the pair. They were brought into another universe and took Burns' right eye and 52's left eye as collateral. After seeing the Adolla Link, he lost his faith in the Holy Soul, leading him to investigate the church to discover the history of their teachings. He would discover the diary of Raffles' Eye's wife and find that something strange happened to Raffles before he founded the church. And that's also why Captain Burns wears an eye patch. You would notice that when he uses his abilities, the eye patch would light up. His ignition ability is called Voltage Nova, where he burns the flames inside his body like a furnace to increase his already formidable physical abilities with thermal energy. We currently know that there are 5 stages that Burns could enter, and with each stage the level of heat he exudes increases, giving him more firepower and durability. Captain Burns is also one of the characters for whom we don't get to see the full extent of his capabilities. Joker says Burns could potentially become invincible given enough time. Burns was a master at hand-to-hand combat, allowing him to move fast enough to react to and deflect enemies' attacks with ease. He was even able to match Joker, who is decades younger than he is. Gustav Honda is the captain of Company 2 and a third-generation pyrokinetic. They report directly to the Tokyo Armed Forces. Honda is a man that's on the serious side, and didn't get along with Benimaru, the 7th Squad captain, who was way more relaxed. A notable feature of Honda is his bald head. His ability allows him to produce flames from his scalp, allowing him to destroy objects with a single headbutt. He also had incredible physical strength and destroyed giant Infernals with fast headbutts, while firing himself from a massive cannon. We were able to see a glimpse of his strength where he trained his neck while Company 8 briefed him on Operation Nether Investigation. He ordered to continue the report while training it. Dr. Giovani is the captain of Company 3. He's a 2nd-generation pyrokinetic and uses various weapons. They are also under Hajime Industries, and they were looking to gain access to a key that Vulcan owned. During his fight with Shinra for Vulcan, the mechanic, it was revealed that he was Vulcan's grandfather's disciple. They were able to find the key that was hidden in Vulcan's treasure, the ball that could give holographic images. And it was hinted that Giovani killed Vulcan's entire family. Dr. Giovani was also super intelligent and viewed things from a scientific perspective. He loved to expand his knowledge and experiment, including on his own body, where he added a bunch of insects to collectively make his own body. These insects possessed the sensors of the moth, which only the males had, and gave Giovanni the ability to sense human emotions and psychology, predicting what they will do next. He's also able to transfer his consciousness into the body of someone else by sending a bug to bite them and infiltrating their brain. Using this, he was able to escape death and prolong his life by jumping from one host to another, and he claims that the host can't change it unless he decides to leave. Giovanni was very suspicious, hiding his face so thoroughly that the other captains didn't know what he looked like. Giovanni's ancestors also helped construct the Amaterasu generator alongside the Joseph clan and the founders of what would become Hajime Industries, which was the backer behind Company 3. He was revealed to be a member of the White Clad. Soichiro Hague is the captain of Company 4. He was the only member who didn't demonstrate any pyrokinetic abilities, making it ambiguous if he had any skills. The 4th company was one that was backed by the Fire Defense Agency, who was a company of regular firefighters who kept the damage dealt by Infernals to a minimum. This also meant that they were in charge of the Special Fire Force Training Academy, which trained students from 13 to 16 to become firefighters. Higu was a regular person until his first encounter with the Adolla Link, where he got hit with the 3 claw marks on his face. Ever since then, he became a masochist who yearned for an Adolla Link sensation, repeatedly asking Shinra to burn him with his Adolla flames. During battle, he would utilize firefighters firefighting tools and find ways to fight his enemies with these in combat. He uses weapons ranging from fire axes to safety wires. Even in his old age, he was able to fight empowered opponents and even jump out of a second-story window with ease. He was killed by gold from White Clad. Hibana is the captain of Company 5 and a third-generation pyrokinetic. Company 5 was also supported by Hajime Industries. Hibana is initially portrayed as a deceptive and somewhat sadistic person, having a twisted personality, and she enjoys inflicting pain upon Infernals she captures for research. She takes her rank as captain seriously, and she doesn't hesitate to remind lower-ranked members of their place. She also has a sovereign-like complex, which she typically expresses towards men under her command. She manipulates people using her charm and beauty to get her way, while she's also being a dominant and controlling person who thinks of others as insignificant. By going as far as using her own comrades as stepping stones from her throne, Hibana is highly ambitious. She wishes to gather as much data on Infernals as she can and unravel their secrets, but she also recognizes its value as leverage, using it to gain her current position and improve her standing. In her own words, she saw the evils of the world and thought that to combat them effectively, she needed to become the evil that she was fighting. She had a temperature manipulation skill that makes your blood vessels dilate and pressure drop. That made Shinra lightheaded during their encounter, even asking him to lick her shoe. It was revealed that she was Iris' sister from the same church, but after the entire church turned into Infernals, she lost faith and believed that flames were evil, so she had to be too. After the encounter with Shinra, she reconciled with Iris and fell in love with Shinra. In the anime, she would repeatedly do things for him. Dr. Kyoka Huang is the captain of the 6th Division and a third-generation pyrokinetic. Dr. Kyoka was also the head doctor of the hospital, and the company's main function is to heal the other members so they can go back on the battlefield. Although she's a doctor, it doesn't mean she can't fight. She's a captain and can hold her weight when it's required of her. Which brings us to her abilities, which she can't really use to kill Infernals. Her ignition ability takes the form of a scalpel with 2 serpents wrapping around it, and her ability allows her to increase somebody's cell division, speeding up the speed they heal at. Her ability goes beyond just cell regeneration though. She can cure diseases, close wounds, and save lives, just like when she saves Shinra when he was at death's door. She was also able to use a different feature of her ability. If you're a third-generation pyrokinetic, she can use your flames to increase how fast you heal, making her the best and only healer-type captain in Fire Force. Benimaru Shinman is the captain of Company 7 and had the nickname of Asakusa's King of Destruction, and he has both 2nd and 3rd pyrokinetic skills, making him one of the most overpowered characters in all of Fire Force. He had abilities like Sunwheel and Crimson Moon. They are the only other independent Fire Force company other than the 8. They call themselves the Neighborhood Watch, and all they care about is protecting their people. Before they became Company 7, there was an infernal attack in their town. With both Conro and Benimaru at their limit, Conro pushed him away so he survived, suffering from overdrive himself. Benimaru is the strongest officer in the entire show, being able to fight the entire Company 8. He was also able to solo the Demon Infernal, which very few in the universe are able to do, and the only other person who defeated it in the show was Shinra when he was possessed by the Adolla Link, putting him as one of the strongest in the universe. But that's not all, and even when he met his doppelganger, which is a reflection of how powerful others see him, he was able to kill it in one shot, showing how much more powerful he was compared to everyone else. Shinra and Arthur were able to grow under Benimaru's guidance. Benimaru was also able to teach Shinra what it takes to redirect and concentrate the energy in his body using the hand signs. This allowed him to manipulate the flame from his ignition ability. Akitaru Ōbi is the captain of Company 8, the company that most of us are most familiar with, the captain of Shinra, Arthur, Tamaki, and just everyone. Ōbi simply has no pyrokinetic abilities, which speaks volumes about how hard he had to work to rise up to become a captain. Company 8 was brought together so they could unravel the mystery of the spontaneous human combustion, as well as investigate Company 1 through 7 to make sure they're not withholding information about Infernals. Before joining the Fire Force, Ōbi was a pretty decorated firefighter. He was able to rise up the ranks by honing his physicality, and he does that by working out a lot. He's strong enough to rip train tracks out of the ground and bend steel with his bare hands. With some specific firefighting tools like the pile bunker, he's able to level the playing field with Infernals. Ōbi also has incredible pain tolerance, even letting Benimaru strike him with his ignition ability to create an opening. And even at the end of the manga, he became strong enough to rip the earth with one hand.